Hello, captains, and welcome back to Fracture Space with Fleet Admiral Katz. I'm still sorting things out in terms of getting back into the swing of things, but I'm also trying out some new ships that I hadn't had the opportunity to really get a feel for previously. Prior to my older PC giving up the ghost, I managed to pick up the Leviathan and its epic level skin through the daily rewards of just logging in. So I decided it would be remiss of me to not take the ship out for a spin for at least a few games. And I'm aware that this is one of those competitive tier ships that is a part of a solid fleet composition, and a good team can absolutely wreck house with a Leviathan on board. It has everything to do with tactically placed jump beacons, assisting takedowns with its fusion cannon, and just by being a harassing lump of hit points that's hard to remove from the battlefield. And you'll get none of that here, folks. Temper your expectations. Admiral Katz will show you how to luck your way into a win while playing the ship absolutely poorly. I do not recommend doing this for any competitive games, but by God, the ship is a beast. It's a beast. And I'm just flying with the default loadout for the Leviathan. The main Tempest cannon for softening up targets and breaking armor, its lone heavy missile, and of course, a fusion cannon when you absolutely, positively have to kill every motherfucker in the room, except no substitutes. Oh, I love this thing. The fusion cannon is the best weapon I've used in Fracture Space to date. I've picked up a new trick or two since coming back to Fracture Space. Most notably, jumping home as opposed to immediately jumping over to a defending teammate who's trying to stop an offensive push from the enemy team to our forward operating base. And thanks to that upgrade, I am a superior force against this destroyer, who is also a mid-range heavy vessel. Thanks to my upgrade, I have superior frontal armor to its side armor, and I'm able to just cut through all of its defenses with my fusion beam.
That's what you get when you mess with the best.
Well, granted, we had enough defenses coming in to help support our forward operating base, and it honestly never had a chance. But that particular choice could save some hit points and possibly change the course of a fight in the future. Now, I don't know a lot about the Persecutor, but what I do know is it's on very low health right now, and in theory, a few good shots with my Tempest cannon should be enough to put it down. But unfortunately, it's changing distance on me too much, and the poor damage output just isn't enough. So, just put out a heavy missile, and that should take care of everything. Boom, baby. And that should help. Fusion cannon for good measure. Well, I was a little overeager. A little worried that maybe its jumping around was going to prevent the tracking of the missile to land. Thankfully, it wasn't the case. And that moment was kind of a telltale moment to me when flying this ship. This really isn't the lead damage dealer in a team. You need to work together to really make it shine. It can lead a charge alone, but as soon as you expect to encounter damage, you better have that jump beacon up and ready to roll to hot drop the enemy team. A term I picked up from my old EVE Online days. And truly, anyone on your team that is paying attention or on voice comms will be able to jump in and provide immediate assistance. And that's one of the strengths of this ship, is the jump beacon. Now a good player, i.e. not me, would have dropped a jump beacon right here. And the reasoning's really simple, honestly. Anyone who is dead or not currently supporting in Gamma has a direct point of entry as opposed to jumping outside of the Gamma capture zone and slowly trundling their way in. Now, something I still haven't figured out that I've heard a bit of rumor too that deploying the jump beacon does put your ship in a vulnerable state. I don't know if that's the case. I remember thinking to myself that I shouldn't deploy it right away, just in case it did make me vulnerable, like going into a jump, for example. But as I've played this, I feel like I've been more or less okay with deploying it under fire. Now the part that gets tricky is deploying under fire and keeping the beacon alive. Because that's something that both teams should be aware of. When there's a jump beacon up, that jump beacon almost becomes primary target number one. You see a Leviathan jump beacon on the enemy team, you better destroy it immediately. Because that is going to summon in reinforcements probably faster than you can deal with it if you're dealing with a good team. And I really have to feel for this destroyer. The destroyer has a massive pool of health. And I just keep finding it with my fusion cannons and ruining its day. This ship had a full pool of health when it appeared, and look, all gone. Oh dear, I might be in love. I love me the Gladiator, but I gotta say that the Leviathan's it's a nice ship. It's a nice ship. Has a lot of firepower. Now someone assisted, I'm using air quotes here, someone assisted the destroyer kill from me, so I'm pleased to walk away with, what was that, a persecutor? I don't know, who knows? There's no replay device on the internet, no video you can pause and tell me what was in the comments. It's fine, I need that. Now, I have a little bit of misplay right there. I realize I haven't been making the best use of the jump beacon, so I drop it behind an asteroid, just to create a closer jump point. I rather expected the enemy team to be pouring in to defend this base, and I thought, well, I better make sure that we get a jump point that's closer than the forward operating base. What I should have done is I probably should have dropped it right here on top of the base so that reinforcements are immediate. Thankfully, we don't get punished for that misplay. Oh dear, don't shoot me, don't shoot me. Okay. Whew! That could have been catastrophic. I don't know why it chose to not to shoot me, but I'm fine with it. Ooh, there's that destroyer again. Ah, damn it. I'll get you next time. I'm shooting the enemy base, and I'm just like, ooh, my old friend, hi. I must have caught some of the structure rather than the destroyer. That's a shame. I learned from my earlier mistake, and I'm like, fine, we're just gonna put this right here. And I'm positive it doesn't last very long. Now my top and bottom armor is just obliterated, and I'm under so much fire. And I'm like, okay, it's time to bug out. It's time to get out of here. Worst case scenario, I can jump back to my beacon in theory, or someone else can make use of my beacon. But in hindsight, since I've watched this replay once or twice, I believe it's dead. Although I don't recall hearing whether or not the beacon died. But I'm fairly certain that the beacon snuffed it when I wasn't looking. And it's fine. I'm able to back cap. Our team's spread out a little bit. Gamma's about to go up, and you can see an enemy ships pouring into Gamma. And really, they should be here. They should be right here. Oh, destroyer. That's a nice pool of health you've got there. It'd be a real shame if anything happened to it. I honestly feel a little bad for this guy. We just keep butting heads and... yeah, well, I'll take support points over a direct kill. And I don't fully understand what's going on in the enemy team. They still have players in Gamma who are capping the enemy base. They might have been able to hold out a little bit longer, at the very least. But that's alright. Never interrupt the enemy when they're making a mistake, am I right? That's right. We walk away from this one with a victory. Oh, let me tell you people, if you haven't picked up the Leviathan through the daily reward, which has now, at the time of recording, has gone by, you should pick up the Leviathan. It is a hoot. It's really fun to play, and it's a solid A-class vessel to roll out in the battlefield with a good team on your side. Fleet up with your friends, have one, two of them if you're going crazy. I've seen it happen. Leviathans coordinate with each other with your jump beacons. This ship will tear through a ragtag team that doesn't know what they're doing. Fusion cannon alone, oh my god, whew, makes me hot. Makes me hot, that fusion cannon. I'm sure there's a fusion joke in there somewhere, but I'm not smart enough to make it. Oh, look at how many takedowns I had. Top of the team. Thanks, fusion cannon. Thanks, enemy destroyer. No. Kudos to enemy destroyer. They put up a decent fight, but they just couldn't hold out. And that's going to do it for today's Fractured Space video. I want to thank you very much for watching, and until next time, take care.